Seems like we're kind of stuck in the same spot, but excuse me, we're gaining. Got to remember to put our little flange nuts or T-nuts in here before we put the skin on. And the ones I got have a little chamfer on the edge, so take our countersink and see if we can put a little radius there and set these things in and put some nails in them. Let's see. Hard to tell if that. Yeah, feels like it's doing something. We'll just yeah, we'll get some nails and tack them in place. So this is a tricky little adventure here because we're down in the hole there. So we've got our little wire nail, needle nose pliers, and we got our tack hammer, and that started. And never really seem to have the right size nails. We'll see. Really shouldn't be a lot of stress on that. We'll get them all started here if we can. And then I have to use a pin punch to make sure they get knocked down flush. Mr. Fumble Fingers here. Gonna have nails all over the floor before it's done. So doggone small. And Fumble Fingers don't want to hold on to anything. Okay, we got them all started. Yeah, that's what happens. Get them all bent up. So let's see now if we can take a pin punch and knock them in there. And we got one. That one got all bent up. We may have to place it. Yeah, I don't like those other two. We'll have to start all over again with them. Make little nails like they used to. I'll try again here. At least we got a hole started somewhere in there. Okay, pull that other one out and put a straight one in there, maybe. Okay, let's see if we can get this one in there. Okay, rinse and repeat for the other one. We got our 2 nut plates in. Now the other thing we're working on here, trying to get clean up, is a new strip in here, so we have something to nail to. We've had to take and put some weld through primer on the back side, and we've got drilled some holes in there for some Clecos, so we'll go ahead and Cleco that in place, and then I want to mark a couple of holes where we can put some nail holes in there for the wood, and we'll stick that in there with the Clecos and then tack it to the old piece just to cover up that rust and give ourselves a strip to nail to. So that's next. SSDD. We got a piece of material tattooed in there. Got some crappy looking welds there. We'll have to grind them down and make that look a little nicer, but we've got a piece slapped in there, and just put a little primer on it, and we'll get this piece, already had it on there, and flatten this edge over so it's gonna fit on there real nice. I got a couple of nails holding that piece in before we put the outer skin on, and that'll hold it in place. And then we're gonna have to use a real small drill and go through some of these existing holes down here and punch holes in the metal there so we can put our brads in. Those things are tricky enough to put in without trying to beat them through a layer of sheet metal. So we got that going on. We went ahead and sanded our edge here all the way around so that it's nice and smooth, and got a nice square edge. And what we're gonna do is when I lay this outer skin on here, I've got a piece of plywood, about 1/2 inch plywood with this arc cut in it, and I'll clamp that over top of the sheet metal as best I can. I can probably get some vice grips down over that so that when I go to bend that edge over, we get a nice square edge. That's going to be the next trick, is getting a nice square edge on that sheet metal. So we're getting pretty close. We might go ahead and just put this piece in where it goes. And, we could, in theory, nail the bottom piece in place. A little clamp here to hold that, and I think we're there. We got in like that, and get our edge down real nice. And like I said, we'll drill the odd hole in there and get that tacked in place, and then work our way forward on that piece of material. Gonna have to get my rawhide mallet out to work that a little better, but we're off to a good start. And then we'll get some, I've got a couple of holes here. I've got to determine how I'm going to fill them, whether I'm just going to wrap a piece over that or what I'm going to do there. We really need to fill them because debris and stuff will come into the driver's area. We need to seal all that up, but we can work on that after we get this other stuff tattooed into place. So that's where we are for now. Yeah, we'll get a couple of these little nails started here. Make sure that our material's in there good and tight. We got our jiffy little power hammer here. Get her down the last little bit. But that's got that in there good and snug against the wood. Get this in here and get a couple in here, but I think we're gonna be fit okay. Got a little pity pat hammer. You got the back tied in. It's just going to be a tedious process here, but we'll get after it. We'll get that, try to get this nailed all the way around, at least get some of the nails in. Get this finished off later. I think whoever did this before really countersunk these nails and then bondoed over everything. I don't know if we're going to be that, if we want to do that or not, but we'll figure it out. I was kind of thinking of making, I know there's a sill piece that goes on here, and I was kind of thinking about making a sill piece that started up here and then came across that curve and then sort of swept up in the front. Get a piece of stainless, make something a little more elaborate, but we'll see. That's a ways off. But right now, we'll just keep hammering our little nails. Ah, there we got one went cockeyed. Imagine that. You can't just blast away on these things because the wood is so hard. These brads are so small that they just bend over. And you know, I could probably put some kind of a little pilot hole in there, but I'm trying to use the needle nose pliers here to keep them straight. If I try to put the power hammer to it too soon, it just folds it over. You just got to keep tapping away at it. see what the power hammer does here. Yeah, knocked it in there. Let's see if we can get one in here a little further up. Right at the last minute. It went haywire. Let's see if we can save it. Nah, I think that one's a goner. See if I can get it out of there. Yeah, the good news is we'll have a pilot hole for the next one. All we gotta do is remember which hole that was. Let's see. Is it that one? That's about right. Okay. And we'll give it a little burp. There we go. In there forever, maybe. Yeah, alrighty.